Hey, Kevin John, Black Hollywood Live here on set with one of the stars of Criminal Minds, Joe Mantegna. Now, Joe, first things first, you're entering your 9th season with this series. What do you enjoy the most about coming to set each day?
Yeah, I really enjoy all of it. It's, after 9 years being on the show's been on 11 years, so they were on a couple years before I even got here. It's such a great ensemble of cast, crew, everybody's. It's that one thing of like, there's that old line that says, if you love your work, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I do. I love what I do, and so coming here doesn't even seem like work. It seems like I'm just kind of hanging out with my friends, and we work hard at what we do. Yeah. But it's not like, it's just the drudgery. I dread going to work every day. No, it's great. I mean, and I know a lot of people, people look at this business and say, gee, I wish I could do that. And I understand it. I mean, when you're in a situation like this, I can almost understand it, because it's like, it is as much fun and interesting and exciting as they think it is. Certainly at times it can be. And this is one of those instances. I'm very happy to be here.
Good there. Now, speaking of exciting, you're doing something exciting today by wearing a different hat. You are wearing a director's hat.
Yeah, this will be my third episode I've directed on this show since I've been on, and it's obviously it's a huge responsibility, much more responsibility than just being an actor. But it's always interesting. I mean, here we're at a football field here. I've got Michael Irvin from the Cowboys is going to be doing a scene with Shamar Moore, one of our regulars from the show. So it's like I said, you never know what a writer's going to write, and all of a sudden it's going to create this little world that you're going to become a part of, and I'm fortunate enough to be the director of it in this instance. So it keeps life pretty interesting. Things like this get to happen.
Good. Now, the character David that you play in here, are there any similarities between David and Joe?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of similarities, and I purposely wanted that in a way, because that's the difference between doing, like, let's say, a movie and doing a television series. When you're doing a movie, you've got pretty much one shot at it, unless they do a million sequels or something, right? Which you never know is going to happen. But a TV series, look, I've done over 200 episodes of this show already, so that's a lot of hours I've spent playing David Rossi. Mm-hmm. So I think when you can, it's important to incorporate a lot of who you are within your character, because in that way, you've got something to draw upon. Yeah. So it's no accident that David Rossi's an Italian American, which I am. It's no accident David Rossi kind of has perhaps likes to cook and things like that, aspects that are part of me as well. And so I would say there's certain elements of Joe Mantegna and David Rossi, and I think that's what makes every actor somewhat an individual. And why, if you have two actors playing the same role, you're still going to see differences.
Exactly. Depending on the personal connection to the role.
Exactly.
Now, I know you're a big Cubs fan. Yep. They're currently third right now in the NL Central. Right. Are you optimistic that they'll make a playoffs?
I'm guardedly optimistic. I mean, when you're a Cub fan, you have to be guardedly optimistic, and not take that any further till at least we get into maybe mid-September. Right. And then we'll see. Because, my mother's going to turn 100 next month. Oh, God bless her. And yeah, God bless her. But she's never seen the Cubs win a World Series. So that goes to show that, it's been a while, hasn't it? So we'll see. But I'm very happy that the team is doing as well as they are, and being a an all-around Chicago fan of all the Chicago teams, it's nice to see the Cubs finally kind of playing some really good baseball.
Absolutely, they have one of the greatest fan bases.
Oh, without question. You have to be. You got to be tough to be a Cub fan. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, last question. I know you're directing Shamar today, and speaking of baseball, Shamar recently threw out the first pitch for the Dodgers game, which was, let's just say, less than superb. Oh, okay. Would you be able to direct him on how to throw a baseball better?
I think I'd probably give him a couple tips, because I've actually done it for the Cubs a few times, and I've had my share of putting it in the dirt myself. So I think the one tip I would be is throw it higher than you think, because that's that whole thing of, and I know he actually used to pitch, so Shamar knows, but I think he probably got a little excited, maybe a little nervous. Exactly. But you're up on that mound, and that plate looks actually a little closer than it is. I think there's that tendency to think you're throwing it straight, and actually you've got that downward trajectory, and so you have to fight gravity. So in other words, put a little arc on it. Maybe just put a little arc on it. Slow it up, put a little arc on it. Go change up as opposed to fastball.
You hear that, Shamar? Good deal. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, and good luck with the show today.
Thank you.